just wanna make it out streets on my kick back, ain't sipping on mine no more. I pull it from the A2 can't kick every day, and that's since the fucking day that I was born. I got designer up on my clothes, came out the mud if you ain't fucking know. Been having trips since I was a little bro.
So let's get on to your career. So, you know, you obviously, you know, you're not a writer, are you? Because, you know, you are a freestyler. You know, you grew up rap battling, you know, in Philly and shit. Would you say you have like a writing capability or?
Yeah, but I see battle rap for me. It started off like off the top, and a lot of people they don't understand all concepts of music. So they don't understand that if you write a verse and it has no concept, no structure, no verse, no song structure, that's a freestyle. A lot of people don't know that. It's considered a freestyle. Like if I sat here and wrote 16 bars right now and it was just that's freestyle, you know what I mean? And then another form of freestyle is off the top of the dome. So I took that off of the top, off the top of the dome talent that I had, and I worked on writing purposely, you know what I mean? And eventually it got to a point where in battles where I was scheduled, I wrote everything, like, you know what I mean? I prepared for it because I started, once battle rap elevated, especially when I came home from prison, by the time I came home from prison, battle rap was like, you know what I mean, up there. Like the first time I went to a placement, battle rap was just starting with the Freestyle Fridays on 106 in Park and all that. And then I think Smack started a little bit after that. But by the time I came home from prison, it was really up there, and then I really got into it, you know what I mean? But we used to always watch it. We used to always watch Reed Dollars go to New York and battle people or whatever. And Reed used to write his material. And I used to like the way it sounded so put together. So I, you know what I mean? I studied that like a test, you know what I mean? Like I worked on that like it was schoolwork, you know what I mean, to get better at it. When I first started writing, I was okay, but I wasn't the best. Now at writing, you know what I mean, I'm just, and that comes from years of work. Plus, you know, I started off rapping because I was an English geek. I used to be a geek when I was in elementary school, you know what I mean? Before I got bullied, my mom got sick and I got in the street, I used to be a nerd, you know what I mean? English was always my favorite subject. Things like double entendres and metaphors and similes, like that stuff was interesting to me. So that transferred over with it, and it just, you know what I mean, it grew once I started, you know what I mean?
That's dope. So did you ever battle rap in prison?
Yeah.
Tell me about those. Did you win some? Did you lose some?
I won some, I lost some. My most memorable battle in prison was I had battled one of our he hood famous battle rappers. His name Joey Jihad. He was in prison with me at the same time. We was on the same block or whatever. And one night, you know what I mean, niggas that already knew I spit, and he famous. You know what I mean, niggas know he spit, and niggas know he killed people. So, you know what I mean, one night, my man, I forgot his name because it been so long. It been 6 years since this shit happened. But one of my homies, he started hyping it up like, yo, man, why don't you get on the gate and battle Joey? I'm like, man, Joey ain't go battle me. He like, man, Joey battle this young boy. He hot. So Joey, he cocky. He like, man, I'm not battling no young boy. Like, he trying to tell him like, yo, Joey, young boy, hot. Like, so he like, tell him spit something. So I spit something, then he spit something, then it turned into a full-blown battle. Like, we just on the gate spitting verse for verse. Like, you know what I mean? I lost because, you know what I mean, Joey was already, acclimated with that shit. Like, so I ain't gonna lie, I took an L that night, but he came to me the next day and was like, yo, you the one that was rapping on the gate? I'm like, yeah, that's me. My name Rock. He like, yo, you hot. I'm like, man, stop playing. He like, no, for real. Like, bro, you hot. Like, you got something special. Like, keep working with that shit. He asked me how long I had been rapping for. I told him how long I've been rapping. He like, listen, man, for somebody to... And then I used to play with it. That was the thing. I used to play with music. It was just for fun. I never saw a career out of it. You know what I mean? So I just used to do it for fun because my brothers did it. I wanted to be as good as my brothers. You know what I mean? So I never took it as serious as I do now. You know what I mean? And he was telling me, like, yo, take that shit serious. Because, you know what I mean, for somebody who play around with it, you know what I mean, been doing it for however long you've been doing it, like, you hot. Like, you gave me a run for my money last night. Like, I had to pull out big guns for you last night. Like, and that shit really gave me confidence. You feel me? Like, damn, this a nigga that everybody in Philly know. You know what I mean? He's known for battling. He had a big-ass battle with Meek and Reed at the same time. Like, them niggas, like, they known. Like, so that gave me a lot of confidence.
Damn, hell yeah, that's dope that you got to do that. I wonder if he ever like talked about it and shit. Like, have you ever hit him up?
I follow him on Instagram and shit. I like his pics. He like my pics. I comment on his shit sometimes. Once we got out of prison, he ended up being real good friends with my goddad, who was a police officer in Philly. He was known as the hip hop cop because he was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wasn't them dickhead cops. Like, I met him because he saw me doing some dickhead shit. Instead of arresting me, he pulled me to the side, you know what I mean, got me some food and talked with me or whatever. So he was real cool in our community and our culture. So he ended up knowing Joey Jihad, like, real close or whatever. So I still talk to him sometimes to this day, you know what I mean? Still, whenever he posts something on Instagram, I double tap it, he double tap mine. So shout out to Joey.
Oh, yeah, that's dope. So, when did music ever, like, cross your mind, like, you know, like, when you wanted to get serious with this shit?
It crossed my mind in that whole prison experience because Joey wasn't the only person that told me I had something special. You know, I was booked for a lot of my time with this cat named Latif.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a monster. Like, he used to go around our whole unit just battling niggas on the gate, killing niggas. Like, he's a monster. And like, I wasn't them niggas who, once I got to prison, I wasn't one of them niggas who would openly rap, you know what I mean? I only rapped on my homies or whatever. Mm-hmm. So once he heard me rap, he was like, man, stop playing with this shit. Like, he used to literally sit down with me every day and, like, you know what I mean? Listen, you gonna take this shit serious. Like, he used to sit down with me, go over my raps with me. Like, he was actually the one who got my writing a lot better, you know what I mean? Because he would sit down with me like a tutor, you know what I mean? Like, and he always used to tell me, like, I'm doing this because, like, you got something special, like, you know what I mean? And he was so confident that he took time out of his day, every day in prison, you know what I mean, while he going through shit, facing major charges, to tutor me on music, you know what I mean? Even had one of his big homies, his name was Most, you know what I mean? Do the same thing, you know what I mean? Sit down with me and tutor me, go over my raps and shit. And that was really big for me that somebody invested that, you know what I mean? That time and that effort into that, you know what I mean? Besides my brothers, nobody had ever told me that or did that for me. So that was really big for me. So that was what actually started me writing. And then once I had that experience with Joey Jihad, that gave me way more confidence, and I kept writing. Then once I got to my home jail, I just stuck with it, and by the time I came home, I had a book like this thick.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, would you say, like, a lot of rappers, when they get locked up, do you think they, do that shit? Like, do they
Honestly,
interact with
a lot of dudes get in a rap when they get locked up, because, I mean, you bored. Like, it ain't shit to do. When you in county, ain't no TVs in your rooms or none of that. Yeah, you might got a radio, but that shit ain't popping all day, every day. You know what I mean? Like, it's boring in there. Like, so, yeah, niggas that do anything. Niggas that can't even rap or try rapping in jail. Like, just because. Like, get murdered, have a laugh about it, bid about it, come back the next day and still try it. Like, you know what I mean?
Damn, I mean, at least they're trying to do something in prison.
Honestly, that's what got a lot of street dudes to start rapping, because where I'm from, street niggas ain't never want to be rappers. Mm-hmm. They wanted to be street niggas. Us rappers was food, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you sitting in prison and sitting in jail, you ain't got shit else to do, and your fucking little homie over here killing niggas, like, you know what I mean? Like, niggas started to jump into that. So that's actually what made hard-ass street niggas start rapping in Philly. Like, we wouldn't have no ARMs if it wasn't for niggas rapping in prison.
Damn.
You feel me?
That's dope. So when would you say you first recorded your song, like your first song?
My first song I ever recorded, like just me, was back in 2015. I had linked up with one of my homies named John from my neighborhood. And he put me in his studio. He ain't charged me at all. And he recorded some shit for me. I ended up dropping it on SoundCloud. And you know, he actually did like a lot of the songs on my SoundCloud. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then I went through a little legal situation in Philly, so I couldn't go back, and I ended up meeting what turned out to be my brother, Maurice. His name Carolina Red.
Oh, yeah.
Lil Itavelli. Mm-hmm. I ended up meeting him through my homie Dominique, Free Dom. He definitely still booked. But I ended up meeting him through my homie Dominique, you know what I mean, going out to his studio, and he really liked, you know what I mean, he liked my flow, like my bars or whatever, so I ended up recording my first song in Asheville with him.
Hell yeah, like, I've heard a lot about Reese, because, you know, I know Zay, Jigsaw Zay, I know Kilo Fresh, so, like, you know, they've all, like, told me about Reese and shit.
Yeah, so Reese was the first one to give me a chance with music out here. You know what I mean? He recorded my first song. He put me on his mixtape, which he put me on like 4 songs on his mixtape. Like he really showed me love or whatever, and that grew to be my brother. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to the king.
Rest in peace. So, tell me, like, what was your favorite memory with him?
My favorite memory was, don't laugh, man. My favorite memory was him when he got locked up with me. It was the wintertime. It was like 2016 or some shit like that. I think 2016. I was driving to go get my girlfriend at the time. It was snowing and shit. Just started snowing and shit. You know, it was supposed to be like snow real bad or whatever, but it had just started. So it was like, you know what I mean, slushy and shit. Yeah. So I'm on the highway. I had just got on the highway on 240 and shit. And I got hit by a fucking correctional officer.
Damn.
He was on his way to work, and he slid, and he hit my car. I swerved. I got control of it, and he had already spun out, and he was spinning. He spun around, and he came around, and he hit me again. I ended up spinning out, going over the divider. You know what I mean? And Reese was with me that day, and when the police got there and shit, he was listening to them to the chatter or whatever, and he heard them say something about he had a warrant. So he like, blood, I'm going to jail, blood. I'm like, man, stop playing. He like, no, blood, I'm serious. I can hear it. And they just said I got a warrant. I'm about to go to jail, blood. He like, listen, man, just take my beer for me. I'm like, man, you really want me to take this beer? Like, man, just make sure this beer for me when I get out, man. Just do me that favor. I protected that beer with it was my life, you hear me? I ended up walking to Hillcrest, because my car was towed. I had to get my car towed. I ended up walking to Hillcrest, calling my girlfriend at the time. Ended up having to walk from Hillcrest to D-Review, because that was where I was staying at to get home, because nobody wanted to come give me a ride, because it had already started like snowing real bad. Damn. But that was my favorite memory, because he asked me to hold that beer, and I protected that beer like it was my life. Like, I took it home for him. That shit was in the refrigerator when he got out. Like, when he saw it, he's like, blood, you kept my beer.
Damn, that's real.
Like, that actually, like, grew us closer. You know what I mean? That was one of the moments that, oh, shit. Bugs flying on us out here, people. But that was, like, actually a moment that, like, made us as close as we was before he passed away. So that's definitely one of my favorite moments.
Damn, that's dope. So, you know, you was telling me that you was on Slay the Mic. Tell me about that. How'd that come out to be? Like,
I got on Slay the Mic. It was all put together through my big homie Mike Lloyd. Shout out to Mike, Snoopy. I was in he used to do work on my cars. And one day I went out there to get some work done on my car. And I just started, I think his brother Malcolm was out there. Malcolm like hyped me up, like, yeah, bro, be rapping. He had heard me, you know, through my homie Reese. He like, bro, be killing this. So Snoop like, man, spit something. So I started spitting something, and Snoop one of them old school cats, so he respect bars and, you know, real bars. So he liked that shit. Like, every time I started going over there, he would want me to spit something. Like, I ended up spitting for his wife Liz. Liz really liked it. Before my homie Reese passed away, he was trying to get me a battle with Slime. Dominoes.
Oh shit.
He wanted me to battle Slime because he felt like Slime was just murdering everybody, and he felt like I was the only person that could step up to the king, like, you know what I mean? So he wanted to see that. So he tried to put it together before he passed away. So once I told Mike Lloyd about that, Mike Lloyd was like, man, I'm gonna set that up for you. And not only that, like, I'm gonna make sure by next year, like, niggas know who Rokkstar is, you know what I mean? And he actually did that for me. Like, he set up a small battle just to get people interested. That got people interested. Then I don't know how he got Slime to agree to it, but he got Slime to agree to battle me. That joint went real good. Shout out to Slime for that, you know what I mean?
How'd that go, actually?
Oh, 3-0. You already know. I don't play no games, you know what I mean? Slime know what it is. That's my guy. Shout out to him, but 3-0. I don't play no games when it comes to battle, you know what I mean? I was telling people the whole time, like little bullshit, the little kung fu battle I did, you know what I mean? Like, that's small. Like, I ain't gonna say that's small because that was really big for me. That was actually my first show in Asheville. Mm-hmm. But like, when it comes to face, like real battling 3 rounds, this many minutes around, like, I don't play, you know what I mean? So 3-0, you know what I mean? Okay. Then he ended up getting me a battle with Mayor Black, 3-0 Mayor. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I 2-1 Mayor Black. Mayor Black got a round on me, and that's very rare. I 2-1 Mayor Black. And then I was supposed to battle John Wilson, but he been running from me for 2 years. So.
Damn. So, You know, have you heard about the Cars and Bars that
Yeah, Snoop. Yeah, I've been out there.
Yeah, bro. I actually like passed it one time like by accident, cause like like I was traveling to Canada or something. And like I seen, I was like, yo, like I think that's like the Cars and Bars shit. So like I don't know, definitely like when this like COVID shit clears up and if like they like do events and shit, I'll definitely like pop out.
Definitely. And Snoop is a good dude, man. Like he done everything he told me that day that we sat there at his house. He done did everything he told me he was gonna do that day. Like he literally put everything in motion from starting the plug. He started the plug just to give us, you know what I mean, somewhere to get our, you know what I mean, our talents out. Like we tried it at the block and the block ain't works. So he figured, fuck it, I'm gonna start my own shit for the culture. He did that, you know what I mean? Once they hated on him and that shut down, he started Cars and Bars because he is for the culture. He love it. Like he wanna get these artists recognition. He wanna get them known. He love that shit. Like when he see talent, he feel like he gotta get involved. Like he love talent. So he does everything in his power to put on for what we do.
Oh yeah, that's dope that someone is like that interested in it, like, you know, and I feel like it's something different, you know, that he's doing. He's like, it's basically like holding a venue at like a mechanic shop.
Right,
you know?
Like,
So
I mean, it's somewhere you can do pretty much anything. Like you can come get rims on your car, you could come perform, you could come shoot a video. Shout out to Mayor Black and Domino's. They shot a video out there. I think it's called Ape Shit or something like that.
It is Ape Shit.
Shout out them for that. Like, you know what I mean? It's a place where you can come and anything.
Yeah, I heard it's like
t-shirts made.
Yeah, I heard it's like a chill spot too.
Yeah, like it's for us. You know what I mean? Like that's a place and a spot that's actually for the culture. Like even though it's not in a spot where it's necessarily for the culture, that place is for the culture. You know what I mean? When you think of movies like John Wick and they got the Continental, that's the Continental for us.
Oh yeah, that's dope that you know, y'all have like basically like a I don't want to say organization, but like a kind of like a group, you know, that
hell yeah,
that be doing this shit. So let's talk about, you know, your collabs and shit. You know, you obviously have that single out with Scott Damage. You know, I've actually seen him like performing at a couple shows. But besides that, you have like a single with Scott Damage. What other singles that you wanna, or what other collabs do you want to talk about? Like,
I got another collab with Scott Damage called Speakers. All these songs are on my Spotify and stuff. They can find them on all platforms. But I got another song with Scott Damage called Speakers. I have a song with Freedom the 10th Wonder called Mandingo Fights. It's a real powerful, you know what I mean, for the culture song. Then I'm on another song with Freedom the 10th Wonder, Kilo Fresh, and they homie Woody. It's called Rights and Wrongs. That's another one for the culture. And then the rest of my features all got Carolina Red on it. I'm not a real feature heavy guy. Like even this EP has no features on it.
Damn, that's dope though. You know, like I've actually interviewed a couple people with their I know feature kind of person, you know, or they want to like wait on their features.
Right.
Like,
That's what I'm not gonna say I'm a no feature type of person. I want to wait on my features. I started late with actually really getting into music and being serious with it. So like I'm trying to, you know, grow my craft and, you know, get my catalog out. I'm putting out my first project right now. So I'm trying to get my catalog up and just, you know what I mean, build me first before I worry about, you know, those things. But, you know, once I feel like I'm at a point where, you know, I feel like I'm good and I'm caught up, then I definitely will be hitting a lot of people up for some features.
So who would it take to, like, you know, show up to you and be like, yo, I want a feature? Like, who would it take? You know, like,
Meek pop up right now, like, jump on this feature, I'm jumping on that joint.
So anybody else besides Meek?
I'm gonna go away from the mainstream artists and I'm gonna talk about some local artists right now.
Oh yeah, that's real.
There's a lot of local artists I fuck with. Let me think right now. Alright, if fucking Slime call me right now, like, bro, I want you on this song, I'm jumping on that shit.
Slime hard.
Yeah, and I've been wanting to do a song with Slime since our battle, but I just been so wrapped up in this solo shit.
Bro, I've been trying to get an interview with him. I think he like hit me back like once, and then like that was it. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to set it up for you, Slime. If you listen to this, jump on this interview, man. But yeah, if Slime hit me up and say let's do a feature, I'm definitely jumping on that. My homie Trap Rich. If Trap Rich hit me right now, like do a feature with me, I'm definitely jumping on a feature with Trap Rich because he go in. Who else? Let me think. If KGE called me right now, like jump on a feature, I'm jumping on that.
Hell yeah.
It's just people I feel
Hey.
like really, you know what I mean? It ain't about how hot you is to me no more. Like, it's about the work you put in. And these is
Right.
all dudes that put in major work, you know what I mean?
TG put in like a lot of work.
KG
I mean,
put
like,
in work like a motherfucker.
yeah,
Slime
look
put
where
in
he's
work like a
at.
motherfucker.
Slime's getting there.
Yeah,
Slime's
so
getting there.
honestly, man, if anybody hit me up right now, you know what I mean, this project is almost out, so I'm pretty much done my solo, you know what I mean, experience for this year. So if you really about your work and you serious, you know what I mean, about your work, you know what I mean, and you hit for real, like you hit me up. So anybody for real, as long as they serious right now.
Oh yeah, that's dope. It takes like, you know, a business mindset to like, you know, go out and do this shit. And,
Yeah, like this shit ain't just, we not kids no more, so that's,
Mhm.
it's not for fun no more. Like,
Exactly, bro.
and if I could understand that, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Shit, I'm late on it, you feel me? So, but definitely, first and foremost, if anybody from my team called me, I'm on a lot of features with my homie Drew, with Drew the design. But that's my team, Sick Mind. So I don't really count those as features. That's, you know what I mean, that's family. So I don't really count those as features.
Oh yeah, that's dope. So, you know, I've like a couple of your singles, they have like you performing. So,
Yeah.
so tell me about like your performances. Did you do any performances down in Philly, or was like you too young and shit?
Actually, nah, I didn't get to a point where I was doing performances in Philly. Like about a week after I came from prison, I got invited on a radio interview, and I did that in Philly. But I probably moved like maybe a month later, so I didn't get a chance to get to that point in Philly. So yeah, all of my shows have been in North Carolina.
Oh yeah, so tell me about your first show in Asheville.
My first show in Asheville was a kung fu rap battle, put together by my homie General Christ. Featured a lot of good artists. But it's basically like a rap tournament. You come in, spit your best bars, and whoever made it to the top walked away with the crown and some bread. That was me, you know what I mean? I had to go through a lot of good people. Scott Damage was one of them. That was actually the first time I met Scott. I ain't like Scott when I first met him.
Really?
Yeah, I ain't like Scott when I first met him. But I'm pretty sure he ain't like me either when we first met, you know what I mean? And honestly, out of all of my friends alive and passed away, I ain't like none of them motherfuckers when I first met them. I don't know what it is. If we friends now, I didn't like you when I first met you. But I ain't like Scott when I first met him. We battled. It was a really good battle. Went 3 rounds. I ended up taking it. Ended up going against somebody who used to be a homie of mine and killed him for the championship.
Damn.
It was dope. It was really dope. I liked it. I got to feel that adrenaline that I hadn't felt since, you know, the last rivalry I did. So I liked it.
Oh yeah, so tell me about what was your favorite show? Favorite show here in Asheville?
My favorite show actually was a recent one. It was like last year. I think it was called Guard Your Energy. I can't remember the title of it, but it was at the Slide Garage Lounge. And it was lit. Like, it was lit. The energy was good. I had just, you know, coming out of a situation personally that I was going through a lot of shit with. So it felt good to let loose, and like I ain't have no, you know, I felt like I ain't had nothing hold me back. You know what I mean?
Have you ever performed at Static Age Records?
Yeah, I done performed at Static Age a few times. That was one of my regular venues.
Oh yeah, I remember I had you on Facebook or whatever. And like, you know, I just never got to like see you performing, especially after this like COVID shit, you know.
Right. Actually, that Kung Fu battle was at Static Age Records.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like I remember, I've been to 2 shows. Like one was at the Kava Bar, and the second one was at, you know, Static Age Records. And you know, obviously that one had like way more energy and shit. And like I fucked with it. I really did. I wanted to go back to one, but.
Right. It's hard for me to pick my favorite show because I've done so many, and I love all the venues that I perform.
Oh yeah.
Perform at. So.
Do you like the energy it gives off? Like
yeah, like I like the energy that it ain't just the energy from performing. I like the whole vibe. Like, you know what I mean, from just sitting around chilling, you know what I mean, drinking some hot sake. Like it's a vibe that I really like. Like I came down here because I wanted to get in a chill vibes, and that grew to be my personality.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, I remember. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, that vibe is very like me right now. So. I love the vibes there, especially at Static Age, Slide Garage. Those are my 2 favorite venues.
Oh yeah, I remember when I went to Static Age Records, like literally there was like a line of like, you know, like rappers on stage, you know, they was just like chilling while like, you know, somebody would be performing. They'd just be like chilling, like talking and shit. And it was like,
Right.
I don't know, it just like looked like they, you know, they was just, you know,
Yeah, 'cause
chilling like every day.
Pretty much everybody who performs on our shows is like we know personally, so it's like, and then the shows, that's the time where everybody come together. Some people don't see each other for a while until we get to those shows. So
Damn.
you know what I mean, it's like a family reunion pretty much.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I definitely want to go into one of those just to see like the vibe and shit again.
Yeah, I can't wait for live performances to come back.
Hell yeah. So did you ever like go to Freedom Fridays? Because I know you obviously you've done some like work with Freedom. So
Yeah,
I
I actually went to the first Freedom Friday. I used to go a lot. Freedom Fridays actually grew to be my favorite venue before COVID shut everything down.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably my favorite venue.
Hell yeah, like I was actually wanting to go to like one of them before COVID, but I interviewed Freedom like a couple days ago, and he was like, yeah, bro, like definitely like when I get like Freedom Fridays like popping and shit, like I want you to like come and like interview like, you know, the rappers and shit, like, you know, maybe give them like a 2 to 3 minute like interview and shit.
Right.
I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering what he was going to do with that, man, because I seen that they closed the block down, so I was wondering if he was going to take it to another venue.
I mean, like when I first interviewed him, he was kind of like iffy about it. He was like, yeah, you know, if it happens, it happens. But then like, I guess after I did his interview, he hit me up like a couple days after that and was like, yo, like, come through, like, you know, I want to talk to you and shit. And
Right.
he's like, yo, like, I appreciate, like, you know, what you're doing and shit. Like, you know, I might actually, you know, get like shows popping again, like find like a place to hold the shows and shit. And like that's when he told me that shit. So
Hell yeah.
So
yeah, I was hoping he did. So that's definitely
me
good
too,
news,
bro.
man.
Bro, he was actually like, you know, doing something like big for the city, you know, like
yeah.
actually like hosting a venue,
Yeah.
basically. for
Yeah, that
artists.
shit was definitely dope, man. So
Mm-hmm.
I hope he get it popping again.
Most definitely.
He ain't no killer, fuck you talking about. We pull that thing and we gon' spark it out. Bad bitch with a big ol' fat ass by the bag, even she about to chalk it out. One more time, he ain't no killer, fuck you talking about. We pull that thing and we gon' spark it out.